Hello, I am Sebastian Debertin, Head of International Content, Acquisitions and Co-Productions at KiKa, the joint children's channel of ARD and ZDF. When it comes to international content, I'm looking for fiction, non-fiction and preschool. KiKa is covering German-speaking Europe, namely Germany, Austria, German-speaking part of Switzerland, and we are accompanying all ages of kids. So, of course, we start with the preschoolers over to the bridge audience 4 to 7, the crucial 6 to 9 focus target group, as well as the 10 plus kids that I sometimes call the hard to get kids, because they're already out there in the digital world. And we, of course, have to and do create and have created special offers for them to make them watch KiKa, make them see our shows wherever they are and whenever they want. One element of success surely is that KiKa is the joint kids channel and joint kids content provider of ARD with its 9 affiliates and ZDF. And together with the people and staff at KiKa Erfurt headquarters, all the 3 partners want to bring the best of programming to the German kids audiences. So I think that this is one reason. The other reason is, of course, that we have the whole variety of programs that you can imagine one can bring to kids. So it starts, of course, with the youngest kids, with the preschoolers. We have this little blue host, little blue rabbit called KiKa. You see a word creation, KiKa channel name, and Kaninchen is a German word for rabbit, for little rabbit. And KiKa is hosting the KiKa World, which exists online, of course, and linear. We have the kikaninchen.de website, a very safe haven for youngest kids to go online, and also have the KiKa app. That is very important, that the kids on the go, when they are with their parents on the way, that they can also see the content that KiKa is presenting. We have the 4 to 7 audience. We have the crucial 6 to 9 demo. We offer them all possible genres of programs, which is live action. It's more than live action than animation that is important for them. The older they get, they want to see more the real reflection of their own lives. So we have magazines, we have non-fiction programs, we have game shows. We have a contest called Die Beste Klasse Deutschlands. That's a game show where the pupils, the students, the kids, schools can apply for and compete to hopefully reach the finale of the competition of Die Beste Klasse Deutschland, the best class in Germany, and hopefully are ending as a winner. It's a nationwide contest that we do since many years, and it's very, very popular all over the country. We have many other shows, and one I need and I have to mention that is so important, especially nowadays. It's a show that we have exclusively produced for KiKa by ZDF. It's a daily news show called Logo, and I'm very fond of that show and very proud of it because it explains the world in these difficult times in an age-appropriate way for children, and that is great. I think that, well, we are not so different from the BBC or France TV. We are having more or less the same mission. We want to educate, we want to inform, we want to entertain, of course, and we want to give them room and space for exploring the world they are living in. We want to also allow them a lot of participation. That's very important for KiKa, and is another strength, I'd say. We have many ways of contact with our different audiences. And we even have them not only digital, the contacts nowadays, but also in real life, which is still very important. So on a daily basis, weekdays, we have kids with us, 2 groups of kids from kindergarten and primary school, and they love to visit their most beloved kids channel in Germany, and come from all over Germany and even from Switzerland and Austria. We have groups here and are happy to host them via a whole day. So in a way, KiKa is also seen as a kind of older sibling. KiKa answers all questions that the kids have, and they address many questions to us. So no wonder one of the biggest departments is the audience relation department. We take kids seriously, and that is, I think, something that makes us strong since more than 25 years. I was talking about the broad variety that we have, and nowadays times we have to, of course, ensure that the kids are able to watch that while they are also on the go. So that's why we have the KiKa player app, where you can watch your most beloved content, and you see live action, a lot of live action for the oldest. They like this very much and need that as a kind of protection of their lives. Wissen macht A, that's a knowledge magazine with Shaun the Sheep, with new Smurfs. I'm very proud of the new Smurfs that we are an executive producer on behalf of KiKa. And we produce this show with our friends of RTBF in Belgium, IMPS PO in Belgium, and the colleagues at Media Participation, Ellipse Depuis in Paris, together with the French broadcaster TF1. Very, very popular, very successful on KiKa. Here we go. Oh, we have docu-soaps like Die WG, Die Wohngemeinschaft. It's like sharing your flat, your room with roommates. And that's very popular. It's a docu-soap that older kids like to watch with KiKa live coverage. We have, as mentioned earlier, I'm really fond of and proud of that, Logo, the new show exclusively produced by ZDF for us. And new things like Ansage. We try to reach also the gamers world nowadays, and that's also a new format that we do. Local animation you've seen. We move on. This is a web series, Echt, exclusively produced by ZDF. You can see here, I think that's a Droners. Yeah, it's Droners from Cyber Group. From Aardman, Floyd. You see all the many different shows, different genres we have. Then you have what you like. You can choose from the many offerings that we have, live action, animation, many different titles for all the different age groups. And as said here, Pur is a very strong magazine, beloved magazine produced by ZDF for us. We have Teen Timster, a media magazine covering all kinds of media, aiming at kids. And going on here, a lot of animations come out also from the UK, Becca's Bunch, from Ireland, from France, shows Belle and Sebastian, Blinky Bill co-production with Australia, Flying Borg, Pirates Next Door, Fun Sam, of course, John Stilton, Lassie, Robin Hood, local show, Mari, Moog from Billy Marsh, co-production. Odo, very nice show from the UK. Currently have finished the dubbing of the first season, and it's very nice. It has premiered recently on KiKa, and it's a lovely and huge success. Power Sisters, local production, Ritter Rost, Tim and Tam Tam, Super Wings. So a lot of shows that you can choose from. And very special, Der Sandmann, unser Sandmännchen, is bringing the youngest kids in the evenings to bed, or co-production, Guess How Much I Love You. So the variety is big, and the kids can choose from everything. And as I said, they have their own devices nowadays, the older they get. So they are also making good use of these devices, and using KiKa is great. What we see from the figures is that the kids are, with the age of 10 plus, really being part of the digital world. So the offerings that we have are aiming at them, and we are quite successful in reaching them also via, for instance, the KiKa Play app or the YouTube channels that we have. That is very important nowadays, as said, and it's a strength of us that we, with the help of ARD and ZDF, reach these kids. So we have a lot of big shows that are produced locally in Germany. One show I'd love to name is Schloss Einstein, Castle Einstein. That is the boarding school live action series that MDR is producing with affiliates of ARD for KiKa and also for the ARD. And that is extremely successful. And I think the reason for that is that this show that has been created more than 20 years ago very, very quick after the launch of the channel to address the issues that the kids of the now generations, I must say, that have been growing up, we're facing over the years, over the 2 decades now. And this is why it is so close to the lived experience of the children. It's covering also problems that the kids might have when they're bullied at school, at plays, or the serious plays in a boarding school, as I said, or when they are in other trouble, like when they are suffering under other people or have problems with drugs. And all these things are addressed in Schloss Einstein in a very clever, smart, and entertaining way. ZDF, for instance, is producing a lot shows locally in Germany. Of course, most shows that we have in live action are produced here in Germany. I'd say 70% of the live action, of course, is produced in Germany. And that is why we are so local. That is also a strength of KiKa, that we are very local. Having said that, at the same time, ZDF produces, for instance, super hit shows like many seasons of H2O, big success on KiKa and ZDF. Also, Find Me in Paris, a wonderful and fantastic co-production of ZDF Studios with ZDF and Cottonwood Productions, are new shows coming up. Theodosia, I must say, is a book-based property that I really do look forward to on KiKa, and many shows more are coming from Powerhouse ZDF. NDR is producing a lovely and fantastic detective show, Peppercorns, young kids solving crime cases. And again, here also, it's a very good way of storytelling and addressing kids' issues when you produce on a yearly or 2-year basis, produce new episodes, whether in Schloss Einstein or in Peppercorns. And these shows, together with the international live action series that we have, are really a great offering for the core group of our target and for the 10 plus kids. So with all these shows, we have a very strong portfolio, and we want to, whether fiction or non-fiction, we want to show the kids that we understand them, that we give them a helping hand, and want to ensure that they feel welcome on KiKa. And that is a thing what they also appreciate. So they get a diverse and rich world reflected, and also in these sometimes difficult moments in life, we have live coverage where kids and parents alike are tuning in to see how we are addressing these things. For instance, in times of crisis, with the Ukraine war, we have covered that, and I think the colleagues have done that in a fantastic and age-appropriate way, that the children got the answers for all the questions that were coming up with this attack on Ukraine. So yeah, we offer a broad variety of programming, and of course in the months to come, the years to come, I will have new great shows, for instance, new great season of The Smurfs that we are producing, mentioned earlier, or we will have, of course, new seasons of Schloss Einstein, produced by MDR, or will have new seasons also of the Peppercorns, produced by MDR. We have celebrated with MDR together, I shouldn't forget that, the 50th anniversary of Sesamstraße, Sesame Street, in Germany recently. And that was really a highlighting also this year. So going on, I mentioned that we have a lot of animation. We have other animation series. Recently, HR provided Le Da Vinci, which is a nice animated series from Italy. And I'd like to also talk a bit briefly about our shopping list. When I mention our shopping list, I'm just referring to KiKa, because the colleagues of ARD and ZDF are having a similar but also sometimes different approach, because they have in their linear channels at ZDF or at ARD Das Erste also slots for kids and family, but they're also addressing towards family audiences very strongly. So I'm referring here to the shopping list of KiKa, and that is we look at preschool, of course. We want to see everything. I have to say we actually are just cherry picking because we have such a strong portfolio that is presented by KiKa, our little blue rabbit. But we look at everything, want to see your next concept, your next idea, your next program. It could be the next big hit on KiKa. We look also for specials for bank holidays. We have just had the pleasure to learn that co-production we did with Sky UK, The Ghastly Ghoul, a production of Dream Logic and Lupus Films, has been awarded. That was really great to hear. We love to have these specials because they are covering nice issues like this special kind of fish out of water Halloween story that Ghastly Ghoul is presenting. We look for fiction for the youngest, but also for 4 to 7 and 6 to 9 and 10 plus. On local production, but also worldwide on international, everything an international program offers, we like to have an eye on and like to find out whether they could be a good fit for the KiKa world. And I always like to recommend to you guys that you look up KiKa.de, our web offer. KiKa.de is, and you can have this smart Google translation service. And it also would show, just with the pictures and logos of the different programs that we have, whether your show, whether your concept would fit into this KiKa world. So ending up with a few good examples of new shows, of shows that are very strong, and a good example of what is working for KiKa on the different platforms. I have to name Odo. That's a UK show produced by Sixteen South from Belfast and our friends from Letgo in Poland. That has just been premiered on KiKa. We have other great shows. We're actually co-producing with Warner Media. It's interesting. For the first time, we are co-producing with Warner Media an animated series called Goat Girl. It's Daily Madness and Miam production. And it is very special fish out of water story of a human girl that has been raised by goat parents. And one day the goat parents decide that the girl now is becoming a teenager and she has to better understand the human world. So they send her to a human boarding school. And you can imagine that this causes hilarious and funny stories. We look for your shows. We look for high-profile concepts, high-profile programs. What's important is that what age group you're aiming at takes the kids seriously. Try to really tell stories that resonate to them, bring characters that they can relate to. That's important. And also try to give them, on all possible levels, a positive world, a positive view on this world, I want to say, that we need in nowadays times. Especially in nowadays times, we also need empathy. We need to tell them about diversity, of course, and sustainability is something that we cover, I think, since the launch of KiKa, with the help of the colleagues of ARD and ZDF and at KiKa itself. So that are important values they want to bring over. I think also creativity is important, to teach them creativity, and also in nowadays times that community of all age groups, together with grandparents, but also community of the social relevant groups that we have in all our countries that we need to find a good way to live together. That is what we want to see in the shows and the concepts that you probably will come up with, and hopefully these shows then, these concepts will end up as shows on KiKa.